Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called Normal Everyday German Things That Really Surprise Me. So yeah, I've been enjoying learning about German culture, the German way of life, and yeah, hopefully going to be doing more of that today. Normal everyday German things that surprise me. So interested to see what these could be. Tell me, yeah, as a German, what you think about these. Let's watch.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany. Recently, a few people have asked me, Antoinette, do you ever run out of ideas when it comes to talking about Germany? And I can honestly say that I never run out of ideas, and I don't think I ever will. I have got almost 10 years worth of Germany related content right here, and I love to talk about it, and I love that you guys enjoy listening to it. So with that being said, in this video today, I am going to be talking about everyday, regular German things that really surprised me when I first moved to Germany. So in no particular order, one of the things that I was very surprised about, almost shocked about, is the fact that the majority of Germans drive manual cars. And according to the research that I have done, it is about 90% of Germans that drive manual cars. Not 19%, 90%. This is something I found so surprising because around 90% of New Zealanders drive automatic cars. And so for somebody in New Zealand to drive a manual car, that is something really rare. You do not see that every day. The subject of driving in Germany is something that is heavily on my mind at the moment because, as I've mentioned before, I'm in the process of doing my German driver's license, and I could save this for a whole video of its own. I will definitely be making a dedicated video on this subject, but for now I'm just going to be talking about the fact that I am learning to drive a manual car, and this is like nothing for Germans. Like, everyone in Germany learns to drive in a manual, but in New Zealand hardly anybody does. Why do so many Germans choose to drive manual cars over automatic cars? This was the question I asked myself. I was so confused by this because, to me, logically, I think it's so much easier to drive an automatic car where everything's done for you, and you know, why add extra stress to your life and extra work when you don't really need to? I asked my husband this question because he has always driven a manual car. He's just used to it and he prefers to drive a manual. He said to me that for him, driving an automatic is boring and it takes the fun out of driving, and he feels like when he's driving a manual, he has much more control of the car and he has just like a better feel for the car. And so that was his answer. I would love to hear some of your answers in the comment section. So guys,
yeah, tell me about that. I guess for me, I'm like on the same camp as Germany. Being British, pretty much every car is a manual car. We have to pass our test, take it like learning in a manual transmission car. I don't have any preference. I now live in Malaysia where it's the same as New Zealand, where 90% of the cars are actually automatic. My car's automatic. It is very easy. I really don't have a preference. I don't see benefit one way or the other. I guess automatic for me is easier because you don't have to think about the clutch, you don't have to think about changing gear here and there, so it's easier. And I'm not such a car fanatic that I really care about the feel of the car and things like that, so I don't really have a preference. But why do you think certain countries are more inclined or more used to driving manual rather than automatic? What's your answer for that, do you think?
The next regular everyday German thing that really surprised me when I first came to Germany was the concept of winter tires. I had never heard of this in my life before, winter tires. So in Germany, for safety reasons, it is absolutely mandatory to have winter tires on your car during the winter months. So by law, these tires in Germany have to have a minimum of 1.6 millimeters tread depth. So these tires, they're just thicker, they're better quality, you're less likely to slip in extreme weather conditions. This does make sense because in Germany it snows and there is a lot more extreme weather in winter time compared to New Zealand. It just surprised me because I'd never really heard of the concept of winter tires. In New Zealand, they drive with just regular tires all year round. So these tires would be sort of the equivalent to the German everyday tires, not the winter tires. So I asked myself the question, why do Germans not drive all year round with winter tires? That would definitely save them having to change their tires over halfway through through the year. And my husband Rob said to me that winter tires in Germany are very expensive, and so you want to save on those tires and only use them when you really have to use them, and the rest of the time you drive with your less expensive, regular tires. So if you were caught driving without your winter tires in Germany during the winter months, you will be fined between 40 and 80 euros. And also if you are in an accident without your winter tires during the winter months, then your insurance company will most likely not cover you. So it's very important that you drive with your winter tires in Germany during the winter months. Okay.
Yeah, that one again makes complete perfect sense. It's more safe. Again, I come from Scotland, which I think has probably worse weather during the winter than Germany, I would imagine. We don't have that requirement. I've never heard of anybody changing their tyres to a winter tyre. I guess all year round there is minimum levels of tread that you must have, but it doesn't change. So in Germany, the way she's talking, you change for the winter, but the ones you put on or you take off at the end of winter, do you just keep them at home, or how does it work? Do you buy them and then you have to replace them with new tyres every time? Or do you just keep your own ones and swap them every change in season?
Okay, so moving on to a completely different subject. This is something that really surprised me when I first came to Germany, which is something that most Germans would think nothing of. It's just a regular everyday thing, and that is German shower heads. So the majority of shower heads in Germany are removable shower heads. So in Germany, the shower heads, they slip into a little thing, and you can stand up and have your shower and the water is pouring over you, or you can grab the shower head and you can sort of wash yourself with the shower head. So you can actually take the shower head off the holder or whatever. I'm not explaining this very well. In New Zealand, the shower heads actually fix, so you can't grab them. They're not removable. I'm not saying that all shower heads are like this in New Zealand, but I personally have never seen a removable shower head in New Zealand. So that was something I was like, wow, I wasn't sure how I felt about it at the beginning. Now I don't know how I could live without a removable shower head. I love it. It's just so much easier to wash when it's removable. You just grab it and you can wash under your arms, you can wash down here. When you're washing your hair, you can just really get in there and the water's right up, in your hair, and it's really good pressure, and I just love that. And whenever I go back home to New Zealand and I have a shower, I feel like the pressure's not very good and I just want to grab the shower head, but I can't. And so that is something that was really an unusual concept to me when I first came to Germany. I've grown to love it. If you're watching this and you're from a country other than New Zealand or Germany, does your country have removable or fixed shower heads? I'm really interested to know. Okay.
Yeah, for me living in Malaysia and even back in Scotland, it's always been the removable one. So yeah, I can't actually imagine life without it, and that one is just stuck to the wall. That would be a bit more difficult. Again, even things if for me, my wife, she's smaller than me, of course, so sometimes I'll need to move the shower head to be bigger for me, and she'll move it to be smaller, so it's more comfortable and things. That one just stuck on the wall, I guess, could be a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, again, mine's is the same as Germany. Tell me if you've ever used one that's just stuck to the wall in Germany.
Hey guys, so moving on to another subject, a completely different subject again. Now this is something that totally surprised me when I first came to Germany, and right now I probably see this on a daily basis in Germany. This is a regular everyday thing that you would see in Germany. You don't even blink an eyelid. This is the older generation in Germany, probably over the age of about 70, riding bicycles. And wow, I thought this was amazing when I first saw this in Germany. This was something you barely ever see in New Zealand, older people riding bicycles. And in Germany, they not only ride bicycles, they ride without helmets, and they go on long sort of bike treks. This is just something that is so normal in Germany, to see the older generation riding bicycles, and I think this is amazing. You know how the old saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it, and that is so true. I love to see the older generation just getting out there and being active and just enjoying life, and you just see this so often in Germany, at least the area of Germany where I live. We have a lot of really nice bike tracks in our area of Germany that take you from town to town, village to village, city to city. And I think it is just a really great practical way to get around riding your bike. This is something I just love about Germany. The older generation, they just get out there on their bikes, they make a whole weekend of it. They'll go for big bike tours and groups, and they'll stop for like little picnics along the river, and it's just something that is really normal to see in Germany. And I remember when my mum was staying with us, she commented about the fact that so many Germans, like older Germans, ride bikes, and I think that is so cool. And I hope that when I am like over 70, I will be active and riding my bike. I have even seen people over 80 riding bikes in Germany. How cool is that? So anyway guys, that's all I've got for today.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Like, it's definitely nice to see the older generation being more independent. I definitely noticed the difference between here in Malaysia and going back to Scotland. In Scotland, you always see older people out walking, no matter the weather and so on. You don't really see it so much here, which is quite sad in a way. I guess maybe it's just too warm here, they get tired too easily or something like that. But cool to see them out cycling in Germany. The ones you mentioned about not wearing helmets, is that kind of standard? I know that's a thing in the Netherlands where people generally don't wear bicycle helmets. Is that also the same in Germany? And yeah, do you cycle in Germany? Where's like nice places to cycle in Germany? Is it a big part of the culture, like similar to somewhere like Netherlands where cycling is so important? But tell me what you think about these, and tell me if there's any other normal everyday German things that you think would surprise people. Thanks.